Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of
Retro Tech.
Today in the Retro Spotlight, a name synonymous with perfection in the era of electronics. TEKTRONIX, the TEK DMM 353. I bet you haven't seen this one before. Founded way back in '46 in Portland, Oregon, TEKTRONIX, an American-based company, has been around a long time. Long enough to know that they are synonymous in the name of electronics, and they have come out with some of the best test gear ever. Today we're looking at something probably different, something you don't see every day, something really that is pretty rare in terms of multimeters. This is a multimeter that does everything but the usual. It doesn't do voltage per se, and it is a very neat little beast of a meter. Check it out, the DMM 353. Oh my goodness gracious. Besides that incredible yellow that we have known to come and love, this is one very unusual beast. It doesn't do straight voltage, doesn't do AC volts, doesn't do DC volts. Yes, it will measure a battery, but that's it as far as voltage goes. No, this is a meter, really not for the masses, but for those who like finite precision on the workbench. This meter is circa, I'd say about 1994-ish, definitely in the vintage realm. And really, if you can ever find one, grab it, because they are very rare. This 3.5 digit meter has ranges in capacitance mode from 200 picofarad to 20 millifarad. 20 millifarad back in the early 90s. Whoa, that would have been something extraordinary for sure. Besides the incredible capacitance range, it also had resistance from 200 ohms to 20 mega ohms, with resolution down to 0.1 of an ohm, I believe. Diode testing as well with 1 millivolt resolution, and the list goes on. A very unique, finite kind of a meter in terms of specifics. And boy, if you're testing transistors, this one could do it all. PNP, NPM, 0 to 1000, approximately 10 microamps and approximately 3 volts. Transistor leakage tests from 10 nanoamps, I believe, to 20 microamps. Battery tester, yeah, the whole 9 yards. So really funky. The meter was made in Taiwan, powered by one 9-volt battery. And we have a 250 milliamp, 250 volt fast fuse as well. It can have a standard tilt stand, so we have our standard. Unfortunately, in the back of the 353, I'm missing here these two. They're like wings. This is another TEKTRONIX meter, and it's very cool because that acts as a storage for your test leads. But yeah, unfortunately, not on this one. Oh, I wish I had it. Boy, this meter is solid, well built, true to the TEKTRONIX name. Yeah, built. Now, one of my gripes with this meter is the fact that those capacitance wells here are just too deep. They're too deep. Standard 474 nanofarad capacitor. It ain't gonna work because it just doesn't make contact. Oh, wow, too bad. So more often than not, you're gonna have to use test leads when you're testing capacitors. Once again, 474 nanofarad. Coming up as 461, good stuff. Another nice thing is the fact that we've got this zero adjust. If we have any stray capacitance whatsoever on the meter, before we take that reading, we can zero it out with the zero adjust, a very nice feature to have. In diode mode, we have two types of diodes. We have standard diode, just to measure that forward voltage drop, not a problem. And if we want to actually get a output on an LED, for instance, put it over here, and we are getting 2.83 volts. 2.83 volts coming out of the meter. Now don't forget, this is the early 90s, so that was something to brag about. And yeah, look at that, of course. No worries here. So kind of a neat feature to have that dual LED functionality on this little multimeter. Another neat thing is the fact that, look at that, we can leave our capacitance testing leads in there while we're testing resistors, diodes, or batteries with our standard test leads, because it is a separate input well. Very cool. This was a real niche multimeter. I'm not sure how many they sold, but it was definitely targeting a very finite market. Most people are definitely going to want to have that typical AC/DC voltage functionality on their multimeter, but apparently TEKTRONIX gave it a whirl and tried it a little bit differently. Okay, let's take a look on the inside and see what's happening. Here we get on the inside, and like the good old days, yes, they always gave us shielding. Wow, love it, love it, love it. So the configuration for this meter is a mother-daughter board style, and if you take it off, whoa, look at that beauty. I'm telling you, the insides are always as interesting, if not more so, than the outsides of these vintage meters. Beautiful. Wow. So starting off here, we have those tracks for the selector switch. Man, oh man, years have gone by, but this thing looks new. There's our 250 volt fuse, 250 milliamp. And over here we have VR2, so a trim pot for user configuration or calibration if the case ever arises, but very nice. And look at that size, the thickness of that PCB. Good quality thickness, excellent. Powered by 1.9 volt battery, you can see there are the connectors for that. And wow, look at those tracks for the selector switch. Big honking tracks with claws like a raptor. Man, loving it. And for Microchip Technologies, there's the big honking analog to digital converter, the T7106 CPL. And boy, talk about attention to detail. I mean, can you see this? I hope you can. As well, we have a lot more of these semiconductors, the Philips HEF4518BP, acting probably as Schmidt triggers in this device. All in all, some pretty cool technology here back in the day. Yeah, look at the soldering. I mean, just excellent quality soldering. Again, such good attention to detail. Boy, Tektronix really came through when it came to making test instruments that were not only effective, but extremely well designed. So good job. Okay, well, what can I say? Beautiful, beautiful on the inside and the outside. That was the good old days. Let's get back. Talk about attention to detail. This screw even has a tiny little washer. All of them did. Tektronix did not miss a thing. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory vintage lane. The Tech DM353 with you and me.